Hello. How I would explain music therapy to a staff member at a pediatric hospital is I would say that me as a music therapist, I am using music as my tool to achieve non-musical goals. So as a physical therapist or an occupational therapist would have goals for their patients, I would use the same goals except I am achieving these goals through musical activities. Looking at it now, it all seems so simple. We were lying on your couch, I remember. You took a Polaroid of us, then discovered the rest of the world was black and white, but we were in screaming color. And I remember thinking, are we out of the woods yet? Are we out of the woods yet? Are we out of the woods yet? Are we out of the woods? Are we in the clear yet? Are we in the clear yet? Are we in the clear yet? In the clear yet? Good. Are we out of the woods yet? Are we out of the woods yet? Are we out of the woods yet? Are we out of the woods? Are we in the clear yet? Are we in the clear yet? Are we in the clear yet? In the clear yet? Good. I recently had an experience where an intervention did not seem to work during a session, and I had created flashcards for Halloween for my client to create a story together, and I had laid them out in front of the client and asked them to choose which cards they wanted to use in the story, and the client seemed overwhelmed with the amount of choices, and because they seemed overwhelmed, they got anxious and did not want to participate and seemed very unengaged. And even though I tried to ask them continued questions to try to get them to participate, they didn't want to. They seemed very overwhelmed. So I decided to try the intervention again because I got discouraged and it didn't work, but I really wanted to try something with this client. So I decided to start over my intervention at another session, and instead of laying the cards out in front of the client, I decided to hold them in my hands and let the client choose from me, and giving them one option was much better than all of the options at once. And I learned a lot through this process by revamping my intervention and knowing that it might not work one way, but it could work another way from a client, and I learned a lot from that. Last semester, I was taking a functional piano class in preparation for my music therapy proficiency exam, and the functional piano class is supposed to prepare me as a student for my proficiency by helping me learn my pieces on the piano and to be successful on the piano. And I was really struggling in that class for a couple of weeks because there was no communication between the music therapy teachers and the functional piano teachers about what was required and what was needed to be successful in the music therapy proficiency. And I felt that I was not learning what I needed to learn in order to be successful. So I decided to step forward and discuss this problem with my music therapy supervisor. And after we talked the problems out, they decided to collaborate more with the functional piano teachers and really create a list of things that needed to be taught in the functional piano classes for people to be successful in their proficiencies. And because I came forward and was able to discuss this problem with my supervisor, I was able to succeed in my functional piano class and in my music therapy proficiency exam. A few of my strengths would be I'm a really good song leader. I'm very confident in my song leading skills, and I know I'm able to step up to the plate and be prepared and ready for when I need to song lead. And I know I'm very good at creating interventions. I try really hard to make interventions that my clients will enjoy and that will help them achieve the goals that are set for them. And I'm very prepared, on time, punctual person. I'm always ready to go when I'm needed. And I know that I'm a very empathetic person, and I know that's important to have when working in a setting like this. And a few areas that I know I need to grow in would be improvising during a session, being ready to improvise at whatever is thrown at me, and I think that I could really grow in that area in this setting, and learning more about documentation and what it's like to actually be a music therapist every single day. That's something I really am ready to learn more about.